Welcome to the Lion's Den. I'm Jimmy Haas, your host. We do this each and every week at Randall Ford, 5500 Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith, the fourth oldest Ford dealership in America, and proud sponsors of UA Fort Smith Athletics. Got Coach with me, and Coach, this team that you put together since the first day you stepped on campus, I feel like this is probably the team that you envisioned having. You put all the pieces together. You got inside, you got outside game. You have power forwards. You've got a pretty good team, and they seem like, especially this time of the year, they're meshing well together. This is a good team. You got youth. You have some senior leadership. You've got the complete package.
Yeah, we have some good pieces. I'm really happy with where our seniors have really taken us. We have, a couple who've been with us 2 years. Morgan Brownings and Nia Thomas are kind of, the starting backcourt pieces that are really important just to kind of take care of the basketball and be leaned on to score. Sinitra Jones is a presence in the middle. She's been with us 3 years. Come a long way, continuing to grow every day and get better. And so, we lean on our seniors quite a bit. Hannah Boyette, Mackenzie Piper, Deja Smith off the bench are all impact players. They're all, contributing members of our group and what we're doing. And then, we really like our youth. We really like our new kids. Anna Trusty, Sophia McNabb are having standout freshman years. We're trying to, get, the younger ones to really keep providing that punch that they need and break through that kind of freshman wall, if you will. Lane Kirkendall, even though she's a redshirt sophomore, this is her first year of college basketball after 2 years of collegiate track and field. So, she in some respects is a freshman in her own right. So, there's a real, difference between, just longevity and experience, within our groups. But, we're you always want to be playing your best basketball now, end of February into March. And I actually told our group after the game, and I told Bill after, on the interview, we haven't been a complete 13-person healthy team since we were at Northeastern State in Tahlequah, Oklahoma more than a month ago. So, I still think that we have really, really good basketball in front of us and a really good chance at making a push.
Coach, let's talk a little bit about the Washburn game. This was back on Thursday. Pretty even. First half, you were up by 3, and you end up winning by 2. But consistent, 21, 22, 24 in the third. So this team's very consistent. You get out of the gate quick, and coming out of halftime, continuing to keep that momentum. Yeah. I mean, that's a mark of a good team.
Yeah, I'm really thrilled with how we played in the third quarter in both games. I thought the third quarter was helpful in the Central Missouri game. Obviously, we were down at half and came back and took the lead by the end of the third. But the Washburn game was a real test for us. We didn't have Hannah with us that game. We had a couple kids under restrictions with minutes, and so. They cut it to 2 in the fourth. I called a timeout. We didn't score out of the huddle, and they came down and scored to tie it. We had been up 8, and, for them to come all the way back, tie it, get the momentum. Our kids were, tired, and the end of the game was kind of starting to rear its ugly head. And I didn't burn another timeout. I thought that we had a really good opportunity to come down and just play late game basketball. Our kids have done a really good job of committing to our late game situation practices and the drills that we do in practice to try to simulate some of that stuff. And so I'm gaining trust in them to be able to manage that stuff on their own out on the floor. And they were able to, both games, quite a bit of just kind of tactical late game, stuff that the kids really bought into and really executed well.
Coach, in the Washburn game, you had 5 players scoring double digits. Mm-hmm. So pretty balanced. They weren't sure who to guard because you focus, you try to double team one, and you got someone else that's scoring. 25 for Anna, 16 for Morgan, and then 14 for Z. It's pretty stacked.
Yeah, and Anna has had a couple really big breakout games. The game at Arkansas Tech, this one, the game at Northeastern State, she had a very good game. She continues to just show who she is. She's a skilled player who can really score the basketball. She's 6 feet tall. She's got length on the defensive end. She does things that really impact the game that not everybody sees. Because when she scores it, it's easy to tell. But when she doesn't, she still impacts the game. And Mo has been as steady as anybody on the team. She plays a lot of minutes. She plays a lot of demanding minutes where she's guarding, ball handlers or, switching on to big kids and having a fight down there. And I like to tell our kids and our recruits that, if we don't know what we're about to do or we don't know who's going to score the ball, it's hard for our opponent to know. And so when you have balanced scoring, that puts you in a position where it is hard for people to guard us. It is hard for people to key in on one person, like you say, and that's where we like it. That's really, even with Anna's breakout game with the 25 or 26 points, she's still sharing the ball. Our kids are still shooting the shots they should shoot, and that puts us in position to win.
Let's talk a little bit about the Central game on Saturday. So I noticed, and I was supposed to be doing a baseball game, but it rained us out. And when I got to the Stub, I noticed that their post player that was down on the blocks, you had Z covering her. And I'm listening to the fans, and they're kind of confused. They're like, you have a short point guard guarding their 6 foot plus post. Mm-hmm. And the next couple of trips down, they tried to work it to her, and I knew exactly what you were doing. I mean, that girl put the ball on the floor instead of turning and shooting. She put it on the floor, and there was Z with a steal, knocked it away, tech off down the other end. So I mean, I just sat there and shook my head and listened to them, and second guessing you. And I thought, you know what? That's the reason he's the coach.
Yeah, we like to try to mix things up defensively. We switch a lot of things. I don't love the idea of a 5'4" kid ended up on a 6'4" kid, but there are times in possessions that those things happen, and the timing of being able to switch back or to protect, the rim is something that we really focus on a lot of weak side timing, in order to switch back and not be involved on the ball side. And your Z, your Mo, your Talisha Brown, those three in particular are undersized severely when they do switch on to big kids in the post, but they fight. They have a lot of will. We full front as it is, 1 through 5, and so they're very well versed in it now after a few years in the program. T, this is her first, but she's that toughness that comes with her, and we call it low help. I thought we really fronted the post and sat in low help on the lob really, really well most of the game on Saturday. I think that our kids, it clicked for a few of our kids, and it needed to. They're starting 5 players about 5'11", 6 feet, but just strong. And then they're starting 4 players, 6'3", 6'4", and just long and can catch it high, keep it high, and does a great job. And so, we knew that their length was an issue, and so we really had to buckle down defensively, and I thought the kids did.
In the Central game, your team opened up with 9 points in the first quarter, which is very uncharacteristic. Mm-hmm. But 3 of 13 from the floor. They were only 5 of 20. They had 11 points, mm-hmm. In the first quarter. So it wasn't so much that the Lions weren't scoring. You were playing good defense too, and you held them to 11.
Yeah, and we were shooting the shots. We missed some layups. First half we just missed some shots that normally go down for us, and that we have confidence in shooting. And I'm thrilled that our kids didn't just fold. Sometimes it's hard to play through missed shots. Your Deja Smith goes 0 for 9. Sinitra Jones goes 1 for 7. Mo has a volume night where she doesn't shoot a great percentage. At any given time, you miss enough. Sometimes you start to question your ability, even in the middle of a game. So they stuck with it. Sinitra made a big bucket for us late, and we needed her to rebound the basketball and defend late, and she did. She was able to play through offensive woes and still play an impactful role on the defensive end. And then Deja Smith, I think 4 steals and got to the line, and she's still finding her way She's still only been with us since December 29th, so she's still learning a lot every day. But anytime you're not scoring, you hope you're keeping them down as well. And we did, like I said, I just thought we really locked in defensively, especially off the ball. They do some good action and some good movement off the ball, and we were ready for it. And Jordan Klein put that scout together, and for that matter, Kieta Saunders put the Washburn scout together, and both the members of my staff are just executing at a very high level when it comes to scouting and doing a tremendous job with the group, and just really thrilled at what they're doing consistently and how much of an impact they're having as a staff for our kids and for our program. And so, we're prepared. When we go into games, I don't ever feel like we're unprepared right now. And, it's just a matter of making shots. Central Missouri, I don't really know that they were contesting us or doing things defensively that were getting us out of rhythm. I just think we were missing open shots. And so, you're not going to make them all, but you want to make enough. And the timely ones especially, you want to try to develop a rhythm. And second half, I think we were able to do that.
I'm very proud of this team, man. They, from the first time we saw them in preseason practice, you could tell you had something special. And they're showing it. Mm-hmm. It's one of the reasons I picked you so high when I made my predictions at the beginning of the year. Mm-hmm. And this is a fun team to watch.
Yeah.
And they really are. And I think, especially with the crowd that we had this past Saturday, they got to see some excellent basketball.
Yeah. And, the environment of the Stub is a special one. Our guys, knock off the number one team in the country. And, my kids are part of the court storming, if you will, or the celebratory, dance over with the band. And, that's fun for me to watch, that my athletes are that supportive, just happy for their success, and they are happy for our success. And so, the two programs right now are putting really good products on the floor and are playing high-level basketball. The two more home games this week are really critical for both teams.
Yes.
The standings are really, there's some spots that are up for grabs on both sides. And, I'm really excited for this week, just for both programs to see, kind of how we can finish. Senior night or senior day will be Saturday. And, we have 6 of them to celebrate. And I'm just excited to see kind of where we're at. But yeah, we had thought and hoped this would be a breakthrough year. I think that it has been. It's obviously not over. We're really excited about where we sit, and we really are hungry for where we want to get to before the conference tournament even starts. And we have 4 games to kind of put our destiny in our own hands. And so, there's no better place to be as a coach or a team than to be sitting here. And if you win games, you move yourself up the ladder and up the ranks, and you put yourself in position for better seeding in the conference tournament. And that's what we want. Our kids understand that. They're taking one step at a time, but they also are looking at the big picture. And, they deserve all the flowers they're getting. They've put the work in. They're continuing to put the work in. They're bought in. They're invested. They deserve to be successful. And, we look forward to these last 2 weeks of league and hopefully a deep run into the conference tournament.
I know it's a lot funner for you, and I've watched you on the bench since you started here and took over this program. You can tell that you're having fun, and you can tell that this team is having fun. When it's time to knuckle down and get serious, they do, and they know, they just turn it on. But like after the game, what you were talking about, absolutely. And they're just kids, mm-hmm. and they're just having fun. Mm-hmm. And it's a pleasure to watch. And I know that everyone that was in the stands cheering on your team, they see the same thing. This team's fun, and they're good. They're good at what they do. And we do have a couple of home games this week. A little bit nicer schedule this month than January, because we are home, so often.
Yeah.
But it's an opportunity for more people to get out and see your team.
Yeah. And Missouri Western last week with the KPI standings coming out for the first time. The MIAA put them out the first time last Monday. Missouri Western, despite having the 4th best record in our league, was the number 1 KPI team in our league. They're the only team to date that has beaten Fort Hays State this year. They beat them by 1 twice. So they're still above Pitt State, at least they were as of last Monday, who's undefeated in the league, and they're still above Kearney, who's got 3 losses, Fort Hays, who's got 2 losses. So, despite them having 4 or 5 losses in league, they're the number one KPI team walking into our gym on Thursday, and our kids are excited about the opportunity to knock them off and give them everything they can handle. And we really needed these last two to kind of stabilize some of the our position in that
Right.
the bottom of the top third. But now that we took care of business, now it's really Thursday's a massive game. It will be a lot of fun. They're very good. They can shoot the ball. They're very well coached. They've won huge games. They're nationally ranked. Those sorts of things. So we're excited. We're excited for the opportunity, and we're going to be ready. I think we continue to continue to stabilize. We continue to gain solid footing, more and more each day with health, with ability to compete at the highest level in this league. And Thursday should be no different.
Looking forward to it.
You too.
5:30 for the tip-off on Thursday, and the men will tip off right around 7:30. Come on out to the Stub. Hey, we will have some complimentary Randall Ford coffee mugs with some hot cocoa for you, just for coming out. It should be a fun atmosphere Thursday night.
Absolutely.
Coach, thank you. I'm so proud of this team and the job that you and your staff have done. This is it's been a fun ride this year, and it's still not over. We've got a lot more cheering to do.
That's right. Thank you, Jimmy.
See you Thursday at the Stub. Going to take a quick time out. When we come back, we're going to talk some men's basketball next on the Lions Den. Welcome back to the Lions Den. I'm Jimmy Haas. We've got a member of the UA Portsmouth Lions men's team, Terrell Williams, is with us. And you come out of Dallas. I actually, for a short while, lived in Arlington.
Oh,
so
okay.
love that area down there.
Yeah, that's
a lot of good basketball.
Absolutely.
In Dallas, Texas.
Absolutely.
What high school?
I actually went to two high schools. I started off at Mansfield Timberview, and then I transferred to Mansfield High going into my junior year. So yeah.
Did you know at an early age that you wanted to play college ball and wanted to continue after high school?
I wouldn't say an early age. Probably when I turned 15, I realized I could actually do something with basketball. But growing up, I was a multi-sport athlete: baseball, football, basketball, track, high jump. So I didn't really narrow in on basketball until probably my sophomore year of high school. So I was kind of like, I actually want to see how far I could take this, or explore it further.
In the bigger schools, like in the Dallas area, the Dallas-Fort Worth area, it's a little bit easier for a student athlete to be able to just pick one sport.
Mm-hmm.
I grew up in a small town where, not very many people, not very many kids in school. So you basically, if you played one, you had to play all of them,
Yep.
to field teams. So there is a luxury with having more students, but it's also more competition that way.
Absolutely.
As well. So
Absolutely.
You're battling for playing time, and you have to be on your game.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah,
that's and that's, to me, that makes athletes a little bit better.
Mm-hmm.
Anytime they have to fight for it.
For sure. Yeah.
So you've been at UA Portsmouth now, and let's talk a little bit about the Washburn game.
Yes, sir.
I wanted to talk about this. They came in 22-0,
Yes,
number
sir.
one team in the nation, not just in the conference, but in the nation.
Mm-hmm.
Very athletic. They could shoot the ball from the outside. You guys have come close to playing like the perfect game all year long. And I think the Washburn game, you put it all together, and it was a complete game for the Lions.
Yes, sir. Absolutely. I think we were all so locked in. We were all I know I spoke to a couple of my teammates before the game, and we felt like something special was about to happen out there on that court. But just not buying into the hype of, them being the number one team. Just it's basketball at the end of the day, So we were all just kind of like, do what we do at a high level and let everything else take care of itself. And sure enough, we shared the ball great. We just bought into the game plan that Coach Gibson had drawn up for us. We knew that they were going to hedge the screens hard, and so we said, as soon as if two's on you, pass it, and then so two people draw towards you, pass it, and then we'll play out of rotations and we'll find shooters. And sure enough, Roland McCoy, he just went off.
He was unconscious.
Yeah, he was on fire.
Yeah.
So we just found our shooters, and yeah, rest took care of itself. We're just playing basketball, having fun out there.
So, and it sounds funny now, but when the game first tipped off, and Mike and I we were doing the call of the game. Roland hit that first three.
Mm-hmm.
I told Mike, I said, this is gonna be a long night for Washburn, and you guys made me look good.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Roland was he was 8 of 14. You hit a three down the stretch though that the opposing coach, he just turned around. He's got to be kidding me.
Yes, sir.
And I mean, the shot clock was running down. And it's not like you were just wide open. I mean, you were covered.
Mm-hmm.
The defender was right there in the face.
Yep. But
you elevated so much higher than what he was jumping. And you hit that three, and it took the wind out of our sails.
Yes, sir. Shots like those, honestly, like whenever I see the shot clock winding down, I'm just thinking of one thing. I'm saying, get a shot. That's my first rule. Like, just get a shot up. So you give yourself an opportunity to, to let the ball go in, but then also put off to offensive rebound. So when I seen the shot clock winding down like that, I was just like, bro, just get a shot up, and the rest will take care of itself. And sure enough, like I work on that. I work on shots like those, but obviously, I buy into the system that Coach Gibson has for us. So I know those aren't the best ideal shots to take.
Right.
But sometimes you just gotta let it ride. And sure enough, I just let it ride, and we'll see what happens. So,
a lot of times your coaches talk about defense. Will win you ball games. Hitting your free throws will win you ball games.
Mm-hmm.
You guys hit some free throws that kept you in the game and won the ball game for you because Isaiah stepped to the line with 2 seconds left.
Yes.
And down by 2.
Yes.
And he hit both those free throws. Now, do you know what his shooting percentage from the free throw line is?
No, I don't.
Low
actually.
60s.
For real?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
See, look.
He stepped up there and hit those.
Yeah, that was it's so funny because Coach Gibson, whenever they had called that timeout to try and ice him, he was like, Zay, you're gonna be fine, you're gonna make it. Go knock them down. We're gonna get them in overtime. Like the full and utmost confidence in him, and just honestly seeing that we were gonna win the game before we even had gotten to overtime. But nah, honestly, big props to Zay because those 2 free throws were huge. I mean, obviously to keep us in the game, but then also he didn't hit. I don't think he touched any rim on either one of those. So like he stepped up with the and that's what he does. I mean, as far as gym rats goes on the team, like Zay's in there consistently every morning working on his shot. I mean, so am I. So like, yeah. So I wasn't surprised when he made them, but it was just kind of like, when you have high expectations of your teammates, it's just kind of like that's what we do. You know what I'm saying? So yeah.
The gym went totally quiet when he stepped to the free throw line. No one was making a noise, and honestly, during COVID, where we couldn't have any fans inside, that's what it reminded me of. Deathly quiet.
Yeah.
You could hear people breathing, and he hit both those free throws. And I mean, you guys went on. He outscored them in overtime, 14-7, and beat them 87-80. That was a team that was not used to that. I saw a lot of tears in the hallway after the game. And you could tell. I mean, they're passionate. They wanted to keep that undefeated record. Absolutely. But you guys ruined their season.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny enough. Like I'll say again, because Coach Gibson, he at shoot around earlier that day, he knows. I mean, he knew the implications of what was behind the game, and so they were 22-0. He said, so we're going to be the first team to put that one on there, to put that one on them instead of them being we're being their 23rd win. We're going to be their first loss. So from the get go, Coach Gibson knew like I don't know, we just had the utmost confidence in what we had done, how we had prepared, and just in every single facet of the game, we were just kind of like, yo, we're ready to give you our best shot, and sure enough, we did that. So it was exciting.
First half of the game, Jack Batchelor for Washburn. The kid was just unconscious. He had like either 3 or 4 threes, and anything that he touched was going in. At halftime, you guys made a defensive adjustment on him. He didn't hit another 3 the rest of the game. So I mean, just great defense by the team.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and that's all it is. Whenever we decide to lock in and just really do what we do at the highest level, we'll live with the result. So like when we see a kid is, when they're hurting us in a certain position, we'll say, all right, we got to really strap down right here. And, the accountability from from the coaches as well, but just from the players are going like, hey man, like, let's lock in. Like, let's do what we know we're capable of and then live with the results. But whenever we feel like we're not doing what we're supposed to do at a high level, we don't get mad at anybody but ourselves. So it starts within that player himself, but then it's also being able to go to my teammate or being a teammate being able to come to me and say like, hey, like, let's pick it up right now. Like, this is the time to, like, let's lock into what coach was telling us. Let's lock into, just compete at a high level. I mean, that's all you can do. Compete at a high level and put yourself in the best position, to actually perform how you need to perform and win the game. So.
Well, what's your plans after college? You want to play professional?
I thought about that, but I actually don't plan on playing professional ball. I don't know. It's not nothing against basketball. I still love basketball. I mean, I think you see it out there when I'm on the court. But I don't know if you're familiar with this or who's familiar with this, but I have a mechanical engineering degree as my undergrad, and I have a master's in business. So I kind of want to parlay that into, one day having my own firm. So at the top of my priority list is obviously getting a job. So getting an engineering job and kind of taking that route. And I think that's more so fits me or what I'm into now in this time and place in my life. And I plan on becoming an engineer and then trying to just, parlay that into, becoming an entrepreneur and so on and so forth. So,
and I love that. That, you're ready to, you've worked hard in school to get those degrees.
Absolutely.
You're ready to make that degree pay for you.
Absolutely.
So, I think it's great.
Appreciate it.
Any cities, any firms you're looking at? I mean, where would you like to be? I mean, a lot of people they want to move to a bigger city.
Mm-hmm.
Is there some place that if you had your pick?
If I had my pick? Mm-hmm. Oh man, that's a great question. I'm gonna give you 3 answers. Well, firstly, I'd be somewhere in the Arlington, Texas area because that's where I'm from.
Right.
So just so I could be closer to family because family is everything to me. And then the next pick is probably somewhere in California. I actually don't like LA so much. It's a little bit too fast for me.
Right.
But like San Diego or somewhere where it's just nice. Cause I'm a laid back, kind of calm, quiet person. So Texas because that's where I'm from. California. Or somewhere in like North Carolina, South Carolina, like
beautiful area.
Yeah. So beautiful. Like I'm not a major city person. Like I think a lot of people know before here I was at Iona, which is in New York City, and so man, New York is cool, but it's pretty fast and it's pretty cold.
Yeah.
So I'm a warm weather kid. I mean, I'm from down south, so yeah, so a little bit warmer weather for me personally, but. Yeah, so I'll probably say Texas, somewhere like in LA, but not Los Angeles, and then North Carolina, South Carolina, somewhere near a beach. I don't know.
It'll be nice. Hilton Head. Maybe Hilton Head, South Carolina. Yeah, beautiful area.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Appreciate
Thanks for coming
it.
on the show today.
Oh no problem. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
We've got a couple of home games this week. Look forward to being able to call your name
yes,
as
sir.
much as I do.
Yes, sir.
Every game.
Appreciate it.
You made my job a lot easier this year with how you play.
Appreciate it.
It's always easy to brag on you when you're on the court.
Thank
you. Man, your teammates and you have brought us a lot of smiles and a lot of cheers this year.
I appreciate it. I appreciate the support. Thank you.
It's going to do it for this week with the Lions Den. Come on out and support the Lions. They'll be back in action Thursday night, 5:30 for the ladies tip-off, 7:30 for the men, and then Saturday 1 and 3. So come out, support the Lions, and come by and see us at Randall Ford if you're in need of a vehicle or you need your oil changed, anything in the service department, or you got into a little fender bender. We have a state-of-the-art collision center as well. So we'll join you again next week on the Lions Den. Thanks for tuning in.